Um, this is tying a lot of ideas together. A lot of ideas together. And the ideas really weirdly get tied together by adventuring gear. That's the teaser. So this is yet another Tifa deck. This is, however, a Tifa deck that gets to play a lot of creatures. It gets to play redundancy for Tifa with Green Sun Zenith. It gets to play Mox Amber, so you get to have access to Mox Amber, Tifa, Vines of Vastwood up. I won a couple games that way, although I don't think it's easy to play more than two. I wouldn't mind having a third, but it's weird to balance with like needing a bunch of fetch lands. You also get to play a lot of Wrenn and Sixes, so you have the lands coming. You get to play Chocobo for extra landfall threats. But the big thing is, too, you also get to play Rydia. Rydia has been a very strong card, and it's been weird to be, like, wanting to play Tifa, which is a 2-mana green landfall creature, and to play Rydia, which is a green 2-mana landfall creature that can get a land back, but feel like it's difficult to play both of these cards together because the plans are different. But the plans get to overlap because you can put Adventuring Gear on Tifa, and if you just have Adventuring Gear fetch land, Tifa attacks for 18 trample. I've also, like, a couple times yesterday, or was this 2 days ago? When I was playtesting this, I was able to, like, get my Lavaspur Boots, off Urza Saga, play Rydia, haste Rydia, get back Urza Saga, and trigger Tifa a third time in a turn, which was also pretty interesting. And so the deck was performing pretty solidly, I think better than any other Tifa deck we've played. Vines of the Vastwood is just awesome, like where it doubles as combo kill with Tifa and then protection spell. We're also playing the Groundswells. You also I won like a weird amount of games just by pump spelling my creatures to kill my opponents. Playing one Bristly Bill as a tutor target, so this is like green sunnable pump for Tifa too, which is kind of fun. Would not hate the second Bristly Bill, but it's just so weird that like the Rydia plan and the Tifa plan got overlapped by Adventuring Gear. And then it's also really nice to be like a really recursive Urza Saga deck when you're playing a card like Tifa. So if your opponent's playing a very removal heavy strategy, then you just have like a very steady stream of constructs available. And so the sideboard is also like, because this is a pretty fast deck that's trying to kill on turn 3 with Tifa a lot of the time, our sideboard is full of a lot of protection spells. So Mutagenic Growth is anti-red protection, and then the Veil of Summer is for the Dimir matchups, obviously. Yeah, Monstrous Rage is not a modern card. Stop asking me about Monstrous Rage! Ah! Stop. It's like, with Tifa, like, you only consider the cards that can give +4/+4. Like, those are the only cards you can care about, really. It's like and like Monstrous Rage giving trample is so redundant with Tifa. I got so mad I lost my webcam. Yeah, it's also not a standard card, but that is just you only want to consider the pump spells to give +4/+4. It's good that both builds are going well, right? It's a good sign. Yeah, I'm liking the new room. I feel very productive in here. What's my words per minute? When I'm riding, it's like, it takes me like 2 hours to get 500. If not more. It's honestly pretty generous. I think I'm like scrapping everything I wrote last weekend too. Okay, we're on the play against a Misty Rainforest. Oh baby, we're playing against Mill. Mox Amber is interesting. We're going to get Mutagenic Growth. Okay, I was kind of hoping we would so we get Groundswell. Okay, we can't play Phyrexian Crusader. Oh, sorry. Landfall guy forgets to play the the Landfall card before the land. All right, whoops. I cannot say I was prepared to play the Infect matchup today, though. I wonder if they have Tifa. There's Salta here. Yeah, I'm interested in poking my head in Standard for a little bit. We'll see. Another Hierarch. All right. Remember this time. Can I just put this back in the deck? I guess I'm keeping it on top. So, one, our deck is built around this card. Two, we don't exactly have... We know we're drawing not a land, which is pretty awkward. I did think about playing an expedition map for these kind of spots, but I think we just got to play this. All right, y'all. In fact, it's been in a rough shape for a while now. But don't worry anymore. We've got the card that ties the room together. Elven Farsight, revealing Tifa Lockhart. That's all you ever needed. It was this simple the whole time. Are they playing Matoya? I don't know why they would be playing Matoya. Alright, let's just draw a land. I think even a non-fetch land is going to be pretty crazy here. You can maybe go Boots equip, trigger Landfall. This will be at 4 power. Groundswell up to 8. Up to 16. And then the Groundswell gives extra toughness to not lose to the Crusader. And this makes things easy peasy. We get to really Balatro here. Although I think my opponent's going to concede. I suppose my opponent could... No, the Venturing Gear is just going to make Tifa have too much toughness for, like, any amount of mutagenic growth to really matter, right? So we're going to be at 28 power. Just get Dryad Arbor. Oh, no, more than 28, because we go up to 26, and then we go up to 32. 32-10. So if all 4 of my opponent's cards are mutagenic growth, then they can survive, right? Yeah. I guess they have a hierarchy up, so they can have a different pump spell too. Could a fetch with Lockhart trigger still in the stack for more power? Wait. Why do you? Oh, you fetch again, so the other Adventuring Gear trigger resolves first, right? Of course. So we could have Balatro it a little harder. Okay. It's gotta feel bad for the Infect deck if they lose this matchup, right? Just not even the best Infect deck of the match. Could bring in Needle for Inkmoth. I don't even think that they're that likely to play Inkmoth since they're playing Tifa and they're so hard Sultai. They might have some. Oh yeah, that was their Tifa. So if our Ragavan connects, we could Green Sun for Tifa on turn 2. Are the Ragavans there for more consistency with the Ambers while still being a decent 1-drop? I mean, that's part of it, but it's less about the Ambers and it's more about having good quality 1-drops. So like this deck, the fact that this deck has Ragavan and Chocobo and Rydia and Wrenn and Six and Urza Saga, and like it just takes a lot of the pressure off Rydia for off of Tifa for being this removal magnet. Like Ragavan is a removal magnet. Just every card is a removal magnet. Is the idea at least. So I think they're gonna block with the elf probably. So this is 20. If I put both of my creatures in front of Tifa here, I go to 1. I mean, that's not 0. I don't exactly see I don't see how we win at 1 life where we can't crack a fetch land anymore. That'll do it. It is exactly lethal. This could have been like +4 damage instead of +1, but 1 is all they needed. On the play for game 3. What a matchup. Did you ever try scale up in a Tifa shell? I think we had scale up in our infect build, but like for the most part, it's like it just doesn't seem better than Groundswell and Vines, so I usually just play these cards first. All right, let's mulligan on the play. Just try to find a Tifa hand maybe. All right, this hand can put a Tifa into play on turn 2. It would be nice to be able to green sun for a Bristly bill also, but I think you just have to get the Arbor in these kind of spots. Well, that might do it. That's 20 damage next turn. Green Sun for Tifa. A beautiful thing. They could have removal, but you know, it's just kind of hard to play against removal on our Mold to 5 against Infect. They graveyard of Vines. So if they play Tifa off of a non-fetch land, maybe we put them to 1. There's a fetch land. It's our first Tifa mirror ever. Glad to be the one attacking again. Kick. Belatro, bling bling. Review from our opponent. Amazing deck, thank you. Can't wait seeing it on YouTube. Great. Ito with the 30 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back. All right, so we're the better Infect deck. That part confirmed. Yeah, but yeah, thankfully the decks that kill this fest, you know, you don't need that much interaction. Yeah, the problem with Nantuko is like most of our creatures are legends, so it's not like bestowing on Nantuko is particularly good. It would be really cool if like bestowing on Chocobo was a good thing to do. Pretty slow though. Yeah, the problem with like adding a Boseiju or adding a Yavimaya, we talked about Yavimaya in this deck yesterday. The problem with all of these cards is it's like you're cutting a fetch land or a fetchable, and it's just so difficult to justify that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do this before damage. Does kind of feel like they have the fatal push. Maybe they would have pushed if this was a 2-3. Do you got any Sagas for Rydia? I got 4 Urza Sagas for Rydia. Adventuring Gear as a Sagable tutor target is really like what kind of tied both green landfall cards together, I think. Thought Scour. No way! Other Rolling Gay as well. Okay, so with Adventuring Gear, we should, like, I didn't actually realize you could do it this way. I thought it was just 16, but it is 20 because you can go Adventuring Gear, both triggers, respond to both triggers, fetch again, put the Adventuring Gear. Oh, but then the second Tifa trigger resolves before the first Adventuring Gear. So yeah, it should just be 16, right? Still pretty good, but it's not 20. Did Tifa's Limit Break interest you at all when designing the deck? That's not a card I remember, I guess. Card Tifa's Limit Break. +2/+2. Double. Yeah, I mean, it's just like not as good a pump spell as other existing options, right? Resolve first gear triggered, then crack fetch. Okay, that works. Nice. So I can either deal 4 more damage this turn or get 2 more counters on this. Okay, cool. That's good. This does make the Adventuring Gear tech better. Take your time, opponent. I know you're tapped out, but you know, take all the time you need. So we're attacking for 8, down to 6. Do they have a Solitude in their hand? I haven't seen a lot of Otherworldly Gaze Solitude decks. Chalice? They're playing an X spell, but what X spell could this be for blue and white? Is this Mistapped Wrath Disguise? Okay, they spent 2 mana to Prismatic Ending my 1-drop. They're dead to a fetch land. It's not a fetch land. Not the worst land, though. I agree that Limit Break is the worst pump spell at 99 or 9% of situations, but the fact that it can one-shot people when you are very behind is something that keeps floating in my mind. Can you expand on that? Because, like, Tifa attacks for 20 with every pump spell in our deck. 20 trample. You know, maybe, like what situation are you very behind? And the reason you're very behind is not because your opponent has just a much bigger board than you. You're very behind because your opponent has just a million toughness that you have to chomp through. That's just like, maybe that's something that happens in Standard. I don't know. That's not something that happens in Modern, really. Like, we've been playing a bunch of Tifa decks. The problem with this strategy has never been, my opponent has too much toughness for my Tifa to attack through, you know? That's never been close to the problem. Okay, so they're Gorias. I guess that explains the gaze. It works better with cards like Chocobo. Okay, so I guess I just don't see how, like, 3 mana double power is, like, I don't know. I think it's just we're talking nonsense here. Okay, interesting that they don't like double surveil here. Saying you have a 3/3 Saga during attack. Okay, am I misunderstanding the card? Because it's you either give it +2/+2 or you double the power toughness. Like, surely we're not talking about this 8 mana mode, which is triple. That's not a thing. Okay, we are up a game. I think they probably have too many Solitudes and Pendings for me to want the Veil. Needle for Frog seems fine. Oh, I thought you did both. That card sucks, Spike. I don't know why you thought I was playable. Yeah, me neither. Because it can get lands off the top of the deck, doubles Landfall, Traveling Chocobo, Green Sun. As a 1-up for Green Sun, and Traveling Chocobo would be a nice addition. I don't know. I feel like I have a hard time envisioning myself tutoring that up, even with those thoughts in mind. I think I have a hard time imagining that I would still, like, want to get that over Bristly Bill, because it's also like, you know, like, maybe you get this in situations where you're just top decking and no one has anything, but, like, Rydia can also be good in these spots. Bill is good in these spots. Tifa is good in these spots, and the fact that it's also good when you have a bunch of other stuff going on is just kind of not a thing in this deck. As much as I wish it was a thing. All right, they're frogging. Do I attack and Groundswell if they block? +5 or +4/+4, 5 damage. They have to discard. They don't even have to. They could keep the frog alive, so I think we'll just do this. Tifa. I'll concede to Goryo's on turn 3. All right. Go to game 3. Nice that like our goldfish can just get them sometimes. All right, 3 birds, no lands, no keep. I guess I put back the second green sun. Look to the review for sideboard cards. I guess so. I feel like it's kind of hard to see anything that changes like the way I play, but it's technically correct. So drawing another Urza Saga makes me want to play Rydia this turn. One less attracts in their deck, I guess. So we'll discard Saga to get it back with Rydia next turn. Hopefully. Maybe green sending for Tifa was better. If I knew this fetch land was on top, I probably would have, because that would have let me present 20 damage this next turn. Okay, so we draw another Rydia. Let's just go ahead and get back a Saga and loot away this Rydia. We may be able to really Balatro even through an Atraxa next turn. So I'm going to say no to looting anything away. We're going to put a Tifa into play. And then next turn we can... I kind of hope they like put a Atraxa in play, because I can trigger Landfall 4 times between the Windswept Heath that's in play, the Urza Saga that's coming back, and the fetchland that's in my hand. And I can get Adventuring Gear and put it on Tifa. And I can have a nightmare figuring out how to stack those triggers. And I can do all of that with Vines of Vastwood up. Cool. So I need to activate Rydia first, because you can only do that as a sorcerer, though I guess you can only play the land as a sorcery too. So I equip Adventuring Gear, I play my land, I stack the triggers. I think I just have to let that one resolve. Then I go Rydia, stack the triggers, let the Adventuring Gear trigger resolve, fetch, fetch. So that's going to be 3 doubled up to 6. Then it's going to be 12 triple to... Or 12 times 2 times 2, so times 2. So 24, 48, then double 48. We do see a Solitude. So if they have, double Solitude here, we're going to get kind of cooked, but... Are we just dead to the attack? That would be such a pain in the ass if we are. Yeah, I know we always let the gear trigger resolve first, but because we have to play a land and we have to get... Rydia is also only at sorcery speed. It's just not going to work. This is so sad that we're just... They just have lethal here. They didn't go for it! What the hell? They discarded a Solitude also. I don't know how I'm ever beating the freaking paid actor allegations. There's another Solitude, so if they have... Although there's no other white cards revealed, so it's kind of tough for them to have 2 Solitudes, 2 white cards. I don't know, y'all. Okay, so... Just float. So remember, we have to... Okay, What would win? Psychic Frog into into Adventuring Gear, or sorry, Psychic Frog into Gorya's Atraxa, or Adventuring Gear. Okay, so here they're evoking Solitude. They pitched Wrath the Skies. Is it better for me to kick Vines or not to kick Vines? I think it's just got to be better to kick. Guess we'll let the loot happen first. Wait for them to target. Shoot, yeah, because now they can target my Rydia. Oh no, I think it's okay still, but damn, yeah, this is one less landfall trigger. I think we still have super lethal. Yeah, I can't. Rydia is only as a sorcery, so I can't get the Saga back, unfortunately. But I get to resolve this, and right now we're at 10 power, and then we get to go to 12, double to 24, and then we get to go to 26, double to 32. And this could have been 64. Thank you for the 47, Shaka. So we're at 52 power. 26 doubles through 2. Sorry. It's too much. I haven't played enough Balatro. I think you could have gotten more at the last fetch. Well, I could have gotten more with the Rydia. We have lethal, chat. Yeah, we need to let the triggers resolve, but I don't know. It's just super lethal. Yeah, it's just Adventuring Gear was like such a hard card to find for this deck, but it really is the card that tied the room together. All right, maybe we can go Tifa with Vines up next turn. Two 2-0 with a Tifa deck, kind of tough. Is Harrow too weak? Do not play Harrow in this deck. Do not play 3 mana cards that are only good if you untap with your landfall creatures, because the hard part with this deck is untapping with the landfall creatures. The hard part is not winning the game when you do that. Right. Do you want to draw another land, of course? Not quite there. So assuming we don't draw a land, we could still go Crack Fetch, Groundswell up to 9 power, double it to 18 with Vines up next turn, assuming that they don't main phase the push. Assuming that they have a push. They do only play 4. Would have been great to be on the play this game. Well, I guess we wouldn't have drawn the Vines. We had a Tarkus Command in some of our landfall drafts, but I think you only want to play a Tarkus Command when you're playing like Springheart Nantuko and when you're playing Reckless Fireweaver, or not Fireweaver, the Battle Cry landfall card. Like when you have those go wide elements, it is good with Tifa though. But in here we're in on like the Rydia Saga stuff, which gets tied together by the Adventure Gear. Any consideration? Yeah, the problem with Black Green MDFC, the problem with Yavimaya, the problem with Beseiju is like despite all these cards being good, okay, let's go for it. Despite all of these cards being good, they are not a fetch land and they're not a fetchable. And every fetch land is a better utility land. Like just no exceptions. A fetch land is better just every time. So we definitely can lose to like Counterspell plus Fatal Push, but let's go for it. Would have been great to have drawn a land. So do Counterspell. So this is only going to be 10 damage. I've been over one of the protection spells. Well, it's just like Vines is much better. Vines is a mandatory 4 of where it both kills. It's one card. It plus a fetch land is 20 damage with Tifa, and it's a protection spell that protects from everything. So like you're not, and those are the only actual protection spells you're playing. So you would not cut a Vines for one of the black green MDFCs. I think. I don't know how I play against Grixis every time. Like when I play when I play not Tifa, I play against black white a lot more often. Game 1 fire magic. It's like literally how is this? This only seems to happen when I play against when I play this deck. It just seems that I always queue into Grixis instead of like Izzet or Dimir. It's not the most important thing, I guess, but it's so annoying. And to get game 1 fire magic here is so annoying. Like, I, as the Tifa player, don't deserve this. It's the Boros Synergy players who deserve this. That's what you sign up for Tifa? I guess. I just don't know how I always run into Grixis. It's like, why can't I play Grixis when I'm playing any other deck? I guess I have been some lately, but I guess so. They reveal a Kaito here. I think I'm going to loot away the bill. It's a pretty good one. Like sideboarding against like the burn, like the thing is, it's like what I'm complaining so much about Grixis is the fact that they have burn and fatal push and flame. So it's like I just like you want Mutagenic Growth, which are so bad against like pushes. Maybe they're just not playing. Maybe they're just not playing mini pushes. Can I play all of these? It's so hard to play all of these. It's like impossible. Let's get weird with it. I'm gonna cut the Mox Amber. I'm gonna cut all the Groundswells. I'm gonna cut the Shadowspear. I'm gonna go down 1 Ragavan. Wait, 3? Let's wait 3 of these. Let's do this. GG's Nega. Okay, I'm on the play. Yeah, I gotta keep. Grixis removal spells is our worst matchup, and having a pretty proactive hand with double veil is really important, even though we've got the Surveil, but we also have the Surveil to look for the second land. Gotta keep. No, don't. Grixis. You just got to keep these really high upside hands in the in these poor matchups. They're so excited to cast this Flame of Annoy, they're not even attacking with Tamio first. Oh, it's just Fatal Push. Come on, Tifa. Tough, I don't know. Odds you get Harbinger, not very high. Especially against the Grixis version. All right, come on, Ragavan. The thing is, they know I have 2 Veil of Summers. That's what was so devastating about this Dreams of Steel and Oil is they just know. It's interesting they didn't just flip the Tamio on their turn. Tamio is so absurd. Can't have Deathridge Shaman, but this is normal. Anything I could hit that's really good? Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I mean, 2-1's fine. I think this is a good stopping point for today. We got to show off the Adventuring Geared tech. We just always play against Grixis removal spells when we play any Tifa strategy, but that is inherently the problem. This card is very strong, but very fragile, and there just doesn't seem to be a great way to build it where you could really have a chance against these kind of decks. I guess I blew through most of my decks today. We played Black-White, we played the Dreadhorde Arcanist deck,